Evening, guys. Welcome back to another preview. Hope everyone's doing well. Obviously, as well, if you do tune in after the live live preview, please do leave your comments and I'll get back to them. But yeah, welcome to everyone that is tuning in for the live preview. Obviously, big game this week. Swindon at home, pretty buzzing, to be honest. I'm sure everyone is. Finally with fans, because obviously last season, I mean, we'll get into last season against them. There ain't really much good things to talk about. But yeah, please do hit the like button as well. Of course, please share the stream. But yeah, we will obviously get into it. We've got Neil again tonight, who's joining. So should be a good chat about obviously what's been going on last week, and talking about the build up for this week's game. So yeah, Neil, getting into it. Thoughts on obviously first away win of 2021, first away win since December 2020, which seems mad. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the lineup, and obviously the main talking points and so on?
Well, 2:00 again, isn't it? BARTON lottery. Just having a look, see what you're going to find. When you look at it on paper and the way he's set up, you've gone right. But be fair to him, he's ballsy. He's gone 3 at the back again. He's not listened to anyone. Everyone was screaming out for 4.
Yeah,
he's gone with 3. Granted, I think everyone would agree if you're going to play the 3, that's his best 3. There's no way about it now. Like Anderton doesn't get a look in. Hughes don't get a look in. If you're going to play 3, they're the best 3. Then you look ahead at that on paper. It sort of looked like he was going to play Finley wide left, and you were scratching your head a little bit, going, I don't like the look of that too much. Look at the whole team sheet, no Grant, and you're wondering, is this BARTON doing his thing again, where he just casts out someone out of nowhere for no reason? But obviously later on in the day, you realise that he's out, and he's probably out for about 4 weeks by the look of it. So yeah, lineup wise, it's no different to any week when you're looking at a BARTON side. You look at it and you sort of scratch your head a little bit, and you're thinking, not too sure about this, but we'll see how we go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't think too much of it. I just thought, well, we'll run with it and we'll see how we go. I fully expected a 4. I think everyone did. He went with a 3, but then the comfort is, I think, like I said, if you're going to play a 3, they're the best 3 to play, and then we'll see how we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, even into Matt's as well. Obviously, everyone get your comments in, get involved. If you've got any questions, please do leave them in the comments, and we will obviously get to them. Be good to get some more talking points on. It could be anything, injuries, lineups, whatever. But yeah, get your comments in the chat as well. Obviously, smash the like button as well. But yeah, obviously talking about their goal, what do you sort of make of it? Because it was sort of bad defending and a bit of luck at the same time, because there was a bit of I wouldn't say luck, because I think it was obviously Kilgore sort of like lost the man, and then Connor Taylor sort of stuck out a leg and didn't really go into it fully. So what do you make of their goal?
Well, from the lead up to the goal, if truth be told, they weren't even in it. Like, I'm not saying Rovers were absolutely peppering their goal or anything, but for the first time in a long time, they dominated that ball in midfield. They didn't do a great deal with it, but they put it in good areas. They kept Walsall turned round, going the other way, which Rovers ain't done that for weeks. They've just
it's been a long time.
They played with a bit of purpose early doors Saturday, and I thought to myself, well, whatever happens, they've started better. They've not let Walsall come onto them and go, oh, do you know what? We'll fill these out. We'll see what they've got. They've gone. I mean, to be fair, BARTON set up, like I said about the shape, what it looked like. But when we had the ball, he pretty much set them up as 3 banks of 3 and gone to Walsall. Do you know what? If you're going to get in behind us, you're going to have to go round us, because you'll never get through us.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like we spoke about those wing backs, he didn't really play wing back Saturday. He left Saunders and Anderson right up the pitch. And I think he said to Finley, Coots and Whelan, you got to dominate that midfield. You've got to get that ball, because if you don't, we are screwed. He pretty much gambled on those 3, bossing the midfield. And to be fair to them, they did it. They did it well. But for their goal, I mean, Belly's kick's not great. It's not gone to a great area. It's popped into the middle. And who's the lad in the minute? Is it Kiernan, the lad in the middle, I think?
Yeah, Kiernan, yeah.
He's the header's fallen to him. And like I was saying about those two banks of three. It's dropped right between the lines. It couldn't have fallen any better.
Yeah.
And the lads picked it up. I think their wide lad's seen where it's dropped, gone and got himself an overload on Kilgore. Mm-hmm. I mean, Alfie's not made himself look great there, but to be fair, he's 2-on-1. There's only so much we can do.
Too much, to be fair.
I mean, Taylor's come over at the rate of knots, can't slow himself down, tries to get a boot on it, and the lads, like Phillips, has just shoveled it in the goal. Really, I think it's gone through Belly's legs, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, and when that goes in, I'm thinking, well, that's just our luck at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, we never deserved it. At worst, we should have gone in 0-0.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we dominated that game. We'd had the ball. We were comfortable. They'd never really created anything. For the first time in weeks, we'd got in behind sides. We got an overload on their right-hand side where Evans slipped it into Anderson and he spooned it wide. But it was progressive, you know. We were doing all right. It looked okay. Yeah. So to go in 1-0, I was gutted. I just thought, that's just our luck at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. It was annoying because I was sort of listening to it and watching it. I found a stream, and you know, it wasn't the best, but I still was able to watch most of it. And yeah, I mean that's what I mean. It looked definitely was a lot better than what it has been. I mean, it couldn't have got any worse. But there was, like you said, I think that was the main thing. We were getting people up the pitch more and getting support in around. And you know, it really helped. And obviously, like you said, because I was like trying to work out, you know, the system that we were playing, of course. But like you said, it wasn't really wing backs. He sort of had the three in midfield. But obviously, it was good because they worked together. It's all about now if people can stay fit, because we'll get onto it. But obviously, we've had a lot of injuries again. You know, it all looked good. Players coming back. You know, Thomas was set to come back. You know, all this stuff. And then obviously, again, there's more injury news. But yeah, even into Josh as well, even into Juan as well, Argentinian gas. And yeah, Josh as well. But yeah, get your comments in, get your questions in if you have any for us to answer, any talking points. But obviously going on, we did equalise. Pretty sort of route one, but it was good because obviously Pittman, great flick on, and you know, Taylor was there, couldn't be in a better place, but you got to be there to score, aren't you? How do you rate sort of Taylor as well, and obviously the goal, well worked goal as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Taylor himself is a player. He's coming on leaps and bounds week after week. I mean, I think he's pretty much nailed on that spot in the middle of that back three, to be honest. And if you look at, I know, like I said, first half we conceded a goal, but I think we're going to concede chances. You look at that back three, how young that back three is. You know, we've got a teenager and two lads in their early 20s. You know, Belly's basically barking orders at them, and Wheeler's barking orders between the lines to try and keep them together. But they're doing all right. You know what I mean? They don't look a shambles or anything. You know, Saturday they looked fine. But granted, I think Walsall didn't really pose us too much of a threat. Yeah. And as much as the equaliser goes, I think it's fine margins. I know people hate it when players and managers come out and say, "Oh, it's fine margins. It could have gone either way," especially when you're getting done 3-1 by Orient. But you sort of got to pick the bones out of what you're saying, really. I mean, the ball comes in. If Pittman don't flick that around the corner and it gets blocked, it's a crap corner, isn't it? And we're still 1-0 down.
Yeah,
the ball gets fizzed in. He gets a good nick on it. And to be honest, whoever's picking up Taylor, he's favourite to clear that, really. He should be dealing with that. But Taylor's got a scaffold pole leg, and he just managed to get his boot on it and stick it in. And then, obviously, once that goes in, me personally, I'm thinking we might get out of here with a point and then take that into 2 home games and something to build on.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me, once that goes in, obviously, Taylor, Collins, Saunders, they all go wild at the crowd. But if you look at our senior pros, you look at Finley goes and gets the ball, Pittman goes over to the bench, and Coots waits basically for them lads to come away and basically get them tuned in again. And I'm thinking, they're going to go and try and win this now.
Yeah.
And for me, I was thinking, let's just get out of here with a point, a decent point. We never create chances. We've nicked one from a set piece. We'll take what we've got and go into 2 home games and try and build on it. But the intention was obviously we're going to go right after these now, because what Walsall did, they're probably kicking themselves now, is they went to a back 5 after about 70 minutes. and they just invited us onto him, and they probably thought that because they thought they've shown nothing as far as scoring from open play in weeks to come. We'll deal with this. But obviously, we just kept on coming at them. And again, that's brave from Barton. I don't want to sound like a Barton fanboy, but you got to give credit where credit's due. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You decided, you know what, a point's not enough. We'll go right after these. Made attacking positive changes and kept us up the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I said on the reaction as well. The fact that he went for it. He didn't just say, "Oh yeah, we'll take a point." You know, obviously, you know, backs were up after we got the goal. Obviously, the fans, you know, were class as always, and it was annoying. I so wanted to. There was, you know, I don't know if it was a Rovers fan or some other fan commented saying, "Oh, you're doing like." You know, the last few away games you haven't gone and have just done match reactions. Well, you know, not everyone can go to away games. Like, you know, when you've got work and stuff, it's hard. But, you know, apart from that, it was class. You know, it was class to get the win. And like you said, for him to go for it, you know, and it was class, obviously, what I seen, you know, made a sub. And you know, a few minutes later, he comes on, and that was class because he hasn't played much either, has he? He's hardly played at all. I remember he played well against Cheltenham in the you know, Papa John's Trophy, and then he goes on, gets chucked in, you know, at the deep end, you know, going because you know Saunders run himself to the ground like he always does, you know, always 110% as well. Even into Chris though as well, even into Jack's Ford 8. Who says, ooh are up the effing gas. Tom Longman says, Sunday roast tasted so good. Same again, Saturday gas. Yeah, that was class. I mean, it actually did. When I had my roast Sunday, it tasted so much better. like Barton said, but that was class when he said that. It was just class. I wanted the seams, the limbs there, you know, was unreal. And it was just great to actually win away from home and come from behind. Have we done that under Barton? I don't think we have. I know under Darryl Clark, we used to love doing that. 1-0 down, and after every game, you know, DC was like, oh, you know, great character. But I don't think we've done that with Barton. Not that I can remember anyway. So
I said about those fine margins, like even if we'd have come away from there with a point, or even if we'd have like missed out, you know, that's probably our best performance under Barton. It's like, I know Oldham was good for a half, but for 90 minutes, the biggest compliment I could give Rovers Saturday was they looked like a side. Like for once this season, they looked like a side. They looked like they knew what they was at, what they was doing. They had a pattern of play, and they went about what they wanted to do rather than going, let's see what they've got and we'll try and adapt to it. I mean, they looked like a proper side Saturday. I mean, let's not get carried away. They weren't fantastic,
no,
but they went and had a job to do, and they got it done. That's all. Yeah. That's all I care about. To be fair,
exactly.
You know, exactly. If I'm not saying we're gonna, but if we do get into these playoffs or we do go up or whatever, and we're like the majority of the season, we're having 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 performances, but picking up results, that'd do me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, like we said in the last preview, even, you know, it don't have to be, you know, the best performance, but just, you know, one to grind out and for, you know, for us fans to see that there is still something. Because obviously, you know, obviously now we need to kick on. Obviously, that is the main thing. We can't just go and get a really good result, come from behind. And obviously against Walsall, we're doing well, you know, unbeaten in the last 3 home games, you know, and Rovers went there and obviously, you know, got a really good win in the end, especially for showing, you know, from coming behind. I think the fans were a big impact in that, of course, because, I mean, you know, loud as always. But it was just class. Juan has got a comment. As you know, Charlie, I can't watch the game, so I can't rely watch and make analysis. But compared to last season, has there been any improvements? Improvements on the defense? I don't know. Not really, but it's. I mean, personally, for me, I think the main problem is with that is that the fact that he keeps changing. He's changed the defence all season. Like we said, you know, you go from Crawley to having Kilgore, Harries and Taylor at the back. And of course, he changed it again, didn't he, for Hartlepool? He brought in Hughes, he brought in Anderton. Now he's got to keep the same team. there's no, unless there's an injury, yes, and especially the spine, the defense into the midfield. Obviously, strikers a bit more difficult because we've only pretty much got one striker, and then you can fit people around him like Saunders or whatever. But he's now with the defense. You cannot keep changing it every week, and he's done that throughout the season so far. First 9 games, he's done that, and now, like we both said, like everyone's been shouting out, he has to keep the same defense. We looked a lot better, and obviously, I got to bring up Belshaw as well. He made some good saves as well. Good saves, and he very, very vocal, and making important saves at important times as well. Because there's plays where we've been bet over Walsall, but then there was a few chances. But like you were saying, then Walsall about we equalised, and then they went 5 at the back. I was chatting because the Walsall fan who was in the chat, Seb, last week, he said to me, and obviously said on his vlog, after he'd done his vlog, that basically Walsall just sat back and invited pressure, but at least Rovers went for it. BARTON went for it. He went positive, and like I said, now we just got to keep it up and sort of go on a run. Now we've got teams that Swindon, going to be obviously a tough game. Derby, don't concede many goals, and then we got Bradford, who are also doing well. I say also, Swindon are doing pretty decent, but Bradford, they've gone from like top to only a point above us in a matter of weeks. So Bradford again is another big game, and now it's time to sort of kick on and hopefully go on a run. Even into Mitch as well. Thanks for tuning in as always. Big up to Lucas Live. Go and subscribe to him as well. Josh Seaborn says we've got to believe in BARTON. Hopefully this is a turning point. Absolutely. Nick Anderton, he was all right the first few games, but he's been very poor the last few games he's played. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
He can't come anywhere near that back 3 for a long time. That bloke. His last 2 performances for Rovers have been utter toilet rubbish.
Yeah, utter rubbish. So, Tom Longman says, anyone heard about the training pitch and the surface? Yeah, we will get onto that in a sec. About the injuries. Kian, evening to you as well. Thanks for tuning in as always. If he changes that defense, we're in trouble. It showed at Hartlepool. Absolutely. But thanks to everyone tuning in. 27 of you, and at the moment, please do hit the like button if you're enjoying the channel and this stream. Please share and subscribe if you are actually new. Tuning in to the channel, would really appreciate it. Even into Sam as well. Welcome, mate, to the stream. But yeah, going on to that. Obviously, there was a post or last week talking about the sort of training ground and the injuries, and obviously Leon Clark, I think it's just the fact that he hasn't played a lot of games. But for other players, because even Thomas as well, that was a training ground injury. So what do you sort of make of that? Do you think it's sort of unlucky, or do you sort of blame because the pitches look quality, but what do you sort of make of that? Because we've been seeming to get a lot of injuries at the training ground. Obviously, Thomas, BARTON come out and said about Thomas getting injured, being out for a month. What do you sort of make of it? Does it go together, do you think? Or, what do you make of the situation with like injuries, and is the training ground, is being affected, for injuries? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. It's all speculation, isn't it? I mean, it's a possibility. It could be. Ultimately, it's brand new. There's nothing to go on to say, oh, well, it never happened years ago. I mean, it's a brand new facility, so potentially, possibly. But all you can say is Rovers are doing the right thing and investigating it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it's a brand new facility. Can't really point the finger or blame anyone. Just one of them things. It's a bit like match day. You experiment with it and try and find the right way, and that's what they're trying to do, I guess, with the quarters on the pitches there. But I mean, it's a possibility, but as long as they resolve it and it don't happen no more.
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? There's been a lot of, like for me, I don't think it's that. I think maybe, I don't know what other people think, but I think maybe BARTON might train him too much. I don't know if that's just an excuse, or obviously different people have got their views, but I'll just point out there maybe, but because there's been a lot, obviously at the moment we've got Leon Clark, Nicholson, Josh Grant has now been injured. Mark Hughes looks like an injury. Obviously, he was in, like you said, he was in the crowd with his, with his son going absolutely mad in the away end. Yukola, but I think that's just injury prone. Like he's pretty much been like it. He's played half a season, whatever. And obviously the wing back Clark as well. So it's been a lot. There's been a lot of injuries, but hopefully, I think it's I can't, like you said, at least they're sort of investigating the problem, and hopefully within the next month or so, we can have more players rather back, fit and giving more headaches. Because at the moment there isn't, maybe apart from a few players that has been on the bench, you can't really say, oh yeah, like they should be starting or whatever. So for now, the players that are playing have just got to keep it up, because within a month or so we're gonna have we've got a large squad, and once they're all back fit, there's gonna be a lot of players to choose from. So we'll see what happens with that. Vaughan in the comments says training ground situation sounds like the Tottenham injury problems of last year. Wasn't that Clark? Trevor Clark. Yeah. Barton said a few weeks ago that he'd be back in like 2 weeks, but obviously it's an ongoing injury and stuff like that. But getting on to Swindon now, and obviously first talking about Ben Garner. Obviously was at Rovers, got sacked, of course, to Joey Barton when he was at Fleetwood. I remember that game, awful game. And I think it finished 4-1. I think Josh Grant, that was when we had like Stapishov in goal, and he like didn't have a clue what his hands were doing. But yeah, obviously Barton come in, Ben Garner come in, obviously for us. Me, I've never heard of him. I'm not sure if you heard of him before we got him. Obviously, was never a manager, has always been a coach, like a backup, an assistant, to Palace, to West Brom. He's managing or coached in India. What did you make of his time at Rovers, Ben Garner? Did you think he should have been given more time? And what was your thoughts on the whole situation of him coming in and then obviously getting sacked pretty early-ish into the season?
Well, coming in, obviously you look at it and he's got no pedigree as a manager whatsoever, but all the noise that was being made of him was this amazing coach, works really well with young players, got a massive reputation with Premier League managers of developing young players, etc. And the dream that was sold to us obviously was this brand new philosophy where we're going to obviously get this bloke in. He's going to recruit with Widdrington. He's under 23, he's from a higher level, and we're going to make a fortune on him at a later date, or they're going to rocket us through the leagues.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't come to light. I mean, the recruitment was questionable in the sense of not so much the players, but being overloaded with left backs out of nowhere. Like,
there was like 5 left backs and like 1 right back. I'm not even a right back.
It was if we were just picking up players that were available that were under 23. It just it didn't seem like, if you looked at that squad as a list, you go, we don't really marry up, to be honest. And then obviously he's tried to put his stamp on his side, and they're weak as piss, weren't they? To be fair, they had no backbone to them. If they was on a 5-a-side pitch, they'd probably be wonderful. That's what I mean. Everyone talks about how good they were in training. Well, that's great, but when you've got some area-ass, League One centre half coming through the back of you, and an older midfielder that wants to absolutely rocket you in the air when you're a kiddie, because that's what they'd have done.
Yeah,
like someone like Steve Evans would have gone, let's get straight into these, make it really uncomfortable for them because they'll hate it, and they did.
Yeah.
And we went down with a whimper, to be fair. And hindsight's brilliant. Should Garner be given more time? Maybe, but there was nothing to suggest it was going to get any better. No. Tisdale was a wrong appointment, 100%.
Yeah, that was just shocking.
That was basically Starmer going, well, if you get rid of Garner, I've got a mate that will come and take the job. That's basically what the scenario was.
Pretty much.
Tisdale's rubbed his hands together and gone, oh, I'll take that. It's only up the road. And when he came in,
he was cheap as well, wasn't he? He'd been
he
out
was.
of work. He
Just
was out of work.
convenient.
He was
just
up the
convenient.
road. Yeah.
And Starmer thought he'd be a hero and go, I'll get us out of trouble with my mate. And he was toilet. And then, yeah, we go down with a whimper. Obviously, Barton's had them games, but like I said, you judge your manager on his recruitment, and basically Tisdale went all in for Stockley. He got nowhere with it.
Yeah, then he didn't bother getting anyone else.
He went all in on Stockley and got nowhere with it. And then Barton comes in and quickly realises this is an absolute shower. Yeah. I'm going to really struggle here to get a tune out of these. So we are where we are now, basically, with his side, and we're going to try and do something with what he's got, because he can't use the excuses that he's used now, because he's ultimately said these are my lads and it's put up or shut up, and he's got nowhere to go with it. That is the case. And I know people get annoyed with him saying, "Oh, we're going to get promoted. We will get promoted." But what you've got to understand is, once you've said it once, you can't not say it again, because he's going to get asked. If you don't bring it up, the bloke interviewing him is always going to go, "Are we still going to get promoted?" He's not going to go, "Don't know." He's got to stick to his guns, isn't he? Yeah, he's always going to go, "Yeah, of course." Because where do you go with it? Once you've said it,
you can't say anything else, can you? Really? Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, like it says in the title, and like everyone knows anyway, Barton against Garner, going to be very interesting. Matt in the chat says, in that 4-1 loss to Fleetwood, Barton was so sure of winning because the majority of the players had the wrong attitude. Garner and Tisdale, League 2 level managers. To be honest with you, I think Tisdale might actually get another job. Obviously, you watched that other show with me and that Aaron, the Doncast. I reckon Tisdale might go Donny,
He won't help him though, will he?
No. That's the thing. But to be fair, Tisdale went to Colchester last year and saved them.
Nah, he didn't. It wasn't him, was it? It was Mullins. Let's be honest. Tisdale was job for the boys, wasn't it? He didn't do anything to help that. He just put a tracksuit on and wandered about a bit.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting. Obviously, going on Swindon this year, obviously in the summer, they were so close to not even being a club. And obviously this season, they've started very well. Like I said at the start, hard to beat. What do you make of Swindon so far, and Ben Garner?
I mean, it's a free hit for Garner, wasn't it? Like, they were a complete mess. So it was a free hit for him. If he goes in with a blank sheet and said, try and do something with this. I mean, as far as what they've done so far, they've exceeded expectations, because everyone thought they'd be whipping boys. Yeah. And to be honest, if you look at a little bit of that side, I mean, Gladwin's a top player. He's a top player at this level. He could probably get in anyone's squad in this league. I think Payne's a good player as well.
Yeah,
there's certain players in that side you want to look out for and pay attention to. Yeah, I think Garner probably knows what his best 11 is, because his squad's so small. But it looks to me, looking at Swindon, he probably doesn't know what his best system is, because he's tinkered with him a little bit. Like, I can't go into Saturday saying this is exactly how Swindon are set up, because he's chopped and changed with a 3 and a 4, 2 up top, 1 up top. So I think he probably knows who his 11 best players are, but he doesn't know what his best system is. Now, I think Barton's probably looking at what he's seen Saturday and gone, that's probably the way we need to go about things now. So, I mean, if we was to go into what's going to happen Saturday, you're always amazed with what you see at 2:00, but he's going to give himself rope to hang himself with if he changes it and it don't go well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, that's what Garner has done. I've keep an eye on all teams line up really before kickoff, and like you said, he always seems to swap and change everything about, and he done it again. Like on the weekend, he played with only 1 up top. Like you said, they played a 4-4-5-1 on Saturday against Colchester. Obviously, looking at the last few games, Swindon have got 6 points out of 15. They haven't won in 5 games. They drew their last 2. Then they lost to Darryl Clark in the another ex-Rovers meeting, and then the last win was Mansfield 1-0. But the thing is with Swindon, is that they don't concede many goals. They've only lost twice this season. Considering Rovers have lost 5, and also the other shocker thing is that Rovers, we've scored 8 goals in 9 games. So obviously, we know we don't score a lot anyway. but we've conceded 14 goals. That's up there with probably the worst 3 or 4 teams in the division for conceding goals. Swindon have conceded half, and they've scored one more than us as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's obviously that's obviously thing we now need to change. We all know that. Like we said plenty of times in the last few weeks on on the previews, and even people generally on Twitter. We've got to sort of keep the same team, and then players can get to know how our different players play and so on. But as in the league terms, they've pretty much halved us again. They're 9th, we're 18th, but there's only 3 points in between it. The reason why Swindon are above us by 3 points is that they've drew 3 more games than us. We've both won 3 games. Obviously, we've lost 2. We've lost 5. They've lost 2. But if we win, we can go level on points, with Swindon. So big game. Obviously, Derby one. Obviously, a lot of people, of course, are looking forward to. So I'm still sort of mix and match what to say about predictions. We will get onto that in a minute. First of all, lineups. I'm guessing you. Well, just before we get into that, got a super chat. Thanks to Charlie Webb for the continued support. Super chat, really do appreciate it. Says, evening lads, how do you reckon the fans will react to Garner on Saturday? That's a good question, actually. That is a good question. What do you think, Neil? How are you? First of all, how are you going to react, and how do you think the emotions and other Rovers fans will react?
Oh, I'm not one of them, to be fair. Like, I'm not one of them. I won't give him pelters. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, I'd probably give him loads of stick. And I think, to be honest, that Thatcher's end will give him absolute pelters when he walks across that pitch. That's what I think, anyway. Like,
yeah, it's gonna.
You know as well as I do. The Mem's got certain sections where certain areas are more reserved than others, and they've got their own opinions and age groups, etc. That Thatcher's end will give him absolute pelters.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, that's the thing. I won't give him pelters, because every time that's the thing. Whenever we get an ex player or usually we don't get it with ex managers. Well, we haven't played an ex man. Obviously, Garner will be obviously we played Darryl Clark in a Papa John's trophy, but I'm guessing, and obviously there was an amazing thing that obviously Ash Belson done on the weekend with the ex players and Clark there. Clark won't get any stick whatsoever. Everyone loves Clark. I know.
Night and day, though, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, It's not just the fact it's Garner; it's the fact that it's Swindon at home as well.
Yeah, Swindon as well. Yeah.
It's just gonna. There's no reason why he's going to get anything other than pelters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's gonna be so much. But the thing I was going to say is that, like usually whenever we boo or we throw pelters at ex-players, and obviously Garner in this stage, it doesn't usually work out. Well, we were lucky against Crawley because everyone was doing it against Tom Nichols, and he should have scored. He had that. I don't know how he didn't score. Free header.
What do you mean you don't know how he didn't score? Makes a living out of not doing it for us.
Yeah, true. But he was 3 yards out as well, unmarked. And I remember other times, like when John Joe O'Toole went to Northampton, I think it was opening day of the season, he scored and we lost 1-0. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Big up to Penguin as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to his FPL channel. Quality guy and great channel as well. Thanks for tuning in again, Pingu. Chris Welch says, have to go, lads. Great rest of the stream. I'm saying 1-1 draw. I'll take a draw, to be honest. But yeah, cheers for support, Chris. Catch you probably on the first XI stream tomorrow. 9 Sync says, I'm a Swindon fan, just saying good luck, but bad luck at the same time. Oh, nah, cheers for coming in, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, one thing I'll say is best of luck after the game, of course. Hope you get absolutely battered and hope Garner leaves here with nothing. But yeah, all banter aside, it should be a cracking game, especially first one. Obviously, we'll quickly go into that. I didn't get into that at the start, but we go into it. Obviously, last season was absolutely horrendous, and of course, it was horrendous against Swindon as well. Played him twice, lost twice, conceded, well, lost 1-0 twice as well. Obviously, the away game, I remember the stream I done for that, we was absolutely shocking. I think we had one shot on target. Nicholson missed a sitter. And of course, who scored for Swindon? It was Brett Pittman. And of course, that's going to be interesting. Obviously, he's on the thumbnail. But yeah, and obviously the home game, we had that offside goal, which was absolute BS. Should have stood. Probably wouldn't have made a difference. But, you know, we were pretty... Well, we had most of the ball that game, but didn't really do nothing. What can you... Obviously, don't really want to talk about that before we played them. But what do you make of the games? Obviously, it's a completely different side as well. Mostly anyway. I think Jack Payne and maybe one or two others are still there. But other than that, it's a completely new team. But what did you make of last season, them games against Swindon? Obviously,
especially that last one. We was dead in the water by then. Like, them lads, I just think they were taking the pitch thinking, we'll just see what happens, you know? I just thought we were dead in the water. Like, you knew what to expect. As soon as you showed up, you knew what to expect. Like I said, we went down with a whimper. You know, and to be fair, Swindon probably did too. It's just that game was, you know, two bold blokes fighting over a comb, innit?
It was just crap. But you know, hopefully this season we can obviously, of course, do better and get a decent result. But obviously getting into lineups, Matt's already put out a lineup. I'm guessing it would be the same team. Belshaw, Kilgore, Taylor, Harries, Anderson, Whelan, Coots, Brown, Finley, Saunders, Pittman. Is that the same team?
No, Brown never started, did he? Come on.
He's
taking Evans out, isn't he?
Oh, he's taking... Evans. Yeah. The away game ended with unnecessary... Yeah, oh my God, I remember that. That was Tisdale as well. Bloody Tisdale. That was Tisdale. The first time you played him the away game. I remember he brought on Kean Harries and put him like midfield. I was like, mate, what are you doing? And yeah, that was just a shambles. But obviously, I'm guessing you'd probably be the same. You'd play exactly the same team, or would you make any changes or just play exactly the same?
I think you got to go unchanged. I know you can never second guess him because he's ballsy, but he does his own thing. He's a ballsy fella, but you make a rod for your own back if you don't start with that side. That's been our best performance all season. We look like a side. We had majority of the ball. We progressive when we had it. We did good things in good areas. You might as well start it and change it if it ain't going to plan, rather than change it and go, or fix back to what I had Saturday. Because if he changes it, he'll get dog's abuse if it goes wrong. You might as well go off the pretense of Saturday was good. I'll train like it all week. Same patterns of play, same ideas. Obviously, cater to Swindon a little bit to see what their threats are. But if it's not going to plan, I'll change it. I'll change it while the game's going, rather than I'm going to switch this all around again.
Absolutely,
I go unchanged.
I agree. I'd be exactly the same as well. Exactly. Robert Brailsford. Never change a winning team. Well, hopefully Barton. Hopefully we don't get to 2:00 and Barton's made like 3 changes. He's got. I wouldn't be surprised, but he's got to keep the same team. You know, they played well together, and hopefully we can start well again as well. We got at Walsall pretty much straight away, and you know we need to do the same. And I just hopefully everyone's up for it. I'm hoping the players. Well, they might not know, but surely they do. Barton would say to him anyway, they probably know it anyway. I think most.
Regardless of who it's against, the fact that you've just picked up a win away from home and you're going into 2 home games, that's got to. I mean,
exactly.
There's 9 points there crying out for you. Imagine what 9 points would do to us at that table.
Yeah,
if we picked them up. And like, I think he's got to look at what happened Saturday and go, I can't imagine he'd look at that any other way than say, well, that's our best performance. Like, when have we dominated a midfield? We haven't done that.
No, we haven't done that.
Coops has started terribly for us. Saturday, I think people were saying he did all right. I thought he did really well Saturday. Like, Coops Coots for us is going to be brilliant when we've got the ball. He'll be a passenger when we haven't. But when he gets it, it's not so much the little interchanging passes he does with Finley and Whelan. He gets people on their bike. He gets people up the pitch, and he sort of orchestrates what we do. He sort of plays like a quarterback. He gets it, and once the ball's gone, he starts directing people of where to go and a pattern of play of what we're looking to do. When we haven't got the ball, he's no good to us.
No.
I mean, he changed the way he played a little bit, because when he came on against Barrow, it was a pointless task. It was very much like what Whelan was like against Hartlepool. We didn't need what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like Hartlepool, 10 men, 1-1. He was going sideways, backwards, and not doing anything for us. But I mean, Saturday, he was really good in there. But he was only good in there because we kept our wide men high, and we dominated the midfield. And I think, I don't know, I haven't looked at the possession stats, but it's got to be high. I mean, I know that previously we've had a lot of the ball and we've not gone anywhere with it. We've gone nowhere fast with it. But Saturday we were progressive. We were getting up the pitch. We were making good passes in good areas and really like giving Walsall something to think about. A lot of the times, like Hartlepool, we had a lot of the ball and Hartlepool went, sod this, we'll go at these. They're going nowhere. Yeah,
absolutely. Got a question, comment here from Bubbles, darling. 121 Twitch says, do you guys think Sion Spence should be at the start of 11? He looked good against Cheltenham and has an eye for goal. Well, unfortunately, he can't play because he's on. He's going away with. Well, is he missing this game or is it after this game? Because international break doesn't start till next week.
I don't think it's Saturday. I don't think he's missing. I don't think he'll be missing Saturday. Probably after.
Yeah, probably be after. So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm sort of. It sort of depends what BARTON's going to do, but I know he obviously scored the winner. He's in the right place. Fair play to him, and he has looked good when he's played. Let's be honest. But I think just start the same team that started. Hopefully Saunders. I'd love for Saunders to get back on the score sheet. I really do like Saunders. I just like his work rate and home games. He seems to thrive off it as well. Especially when we're facing the Thatcher's end and that. I really rate him, to be honest. Paul Tisdale subbed on Jack Baldwin for Luke McCormick in the 87th minute. Yeah, and then we go and concede like a minute later or something. It was stupid, but yeah, we're going to get into score predictions now. But before that, hit the like button if you already haven't. Please share. Please keep smashing the support on the channel. But yeah, get your score predictions in. Start off with Neil, though. What are you going for this weekend? Are you confident for a win, or what do you reckon?
Well, after what I've seen Saturday, there's no reason why we can't go into that and get after Swindon, to be honest. I know they've done all right, and they probably exceeded expectations because they were meant to be whipping boys with what happened to them in the summer. But should we really be fearing them? Do you know what I mean? They're not Orient. You know what I mean? They're not a well-oiled machine that are ticking over lovely. They're pretty much an experimental stage. The same with us. They've drawn 0-0 with Colchester in their last game. I mean, that's hardly pulling up trees, is it? I mean, we've gone away from home. We've won our first game from coming from behind, 90th minute winner. We've got all that momentum. Keep that side. Tell them to do exactly the same thing as far as the energy. I mean, from kickoff, we went straight up the other end. That's exactly how we should start against Swindon. We'll go after them and let them worry about us, because they're in a transitional period. They're chopping and changing systems. They're not settled. No. So I mean, the day we actually go in front in a game, God knows what we'll do. Because you know what I mean, if we can get our noses in front, that should like strive us forward. Because like when we got that equaliser, the reaction of our senior pros, we'll go and get that ball and we'll go and get another one. Like we will go and win this. So I think when we get our noses in front in a game, we'll probably be a completely different animal.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
I think we'll nick a 1-0. How we'll nick it, I don't know, because we're not slicing sides open still. It might be, someone dying at a set piece to get on the end of something, or second phase break into someone, but we're still not slicing sides open. But I'll go for a one. I mean, I shelled out for a box. If we don't win, I'll be fuming. So,
you got a box as well, haven't you? So it's going to be.
I'll take a 1-0 win. we can play like absolute dirt. I don't care.
Yeah, just get a win in it, especially against Swindon as well. That's just more. And I think, like you said, I think if we can start well again, get a nice early goal, I think that set off the crowd. Obviously, it should be I'm not sure what the attendance will be. I'm sure after, because obviously it's all tickets, so no tickets available on the day for anyone who hasn't seen that anywhere, and you haven't got your ticket yet, or you're not a season ticket holder, or whatever. But yeah, I think if we can get an early goal, I think we could maybe score a few. Atmosphere there should be class. Mats has gone for a 3-2 Rovers win. Jesus, 3-2 win. Wow. I don't care. A win's a win. Bubbles says 2-0 up the gas. Mitch Bresenton says 2-0 Walsall. Rob Brailsford says 1-1. I don't know. For me, it's a tough one. I think if we can get an early goal, and I don't know why I'm going to say the second part, I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I don't know why. But I'm going to go for the same as what Mitch and Bubbles says. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Rovers win. I'm going to go for Pittman to score, because why not? Old club. Probably get a penalty, nice little penalty in front of the away end or something. And I think Saunders will get a goal. I'd love for Saunders to get another goal. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-0. Feeling a lot more confident than I did before the Walsall game, but hopefully, like we've talked about, hopefully now this can give us the boost, and really go into the season now, firing, with confidence, with the same team. Fingers crossed. Don't want to look on Saturday and be like, yeah, there's 3 changes. But yeah, keep the same team. Nice early goal, 2-0. Wayne Clark has gone in for a 1-1. Mitch Bresenton says, you streaming it? No, I will be doing a vlog though. That's a promise. I will be vlogging. Hopefully I can bring some good luck. Yeah, I'll be vlogging the game in the Thatcher's End. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'll be doing when I get home from the game, I'll be doing a match reaction, and then the vlog. I'll edit the vlog, and then the vlog will be up after that. I'll try and get up as soon as I can, and hopefully it will be limbs for Rovers. Tom Butler, thanks for tuning in. Says score first. I really fancy us. Can't lose to Garner. Yeah, I hope not. Crowd should be 8K. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. I think Swindon should sell out, definitely. And then Rovers, yeah, depends. Maybe a few more people might be a bit more optimistic and confident to go after the win last week. Chompy Backup says, I'd go 2-1 Swindon. We are shocking. Fair enough. Brett Gass, even into you as well. 2-1 Rovers win. That'd be lovely. Saunders, Finley, and Harries. Well, maybe a Harries wonder goal. I'll take that. Yeah, that's class, to be fair. But yeah, we're going to end it here. I've been going 48 minutes now. But yeah, appreciate Neil for coming on again, as always. We'll be back, of course, next week at 7 p.m. So hit the notification bell as well if you haven't, and when a video or a stream will be going live. And yeah, thanks everyone again for tuning in. Really do appreciate the support. Keep smashing the support. Hit the like button if you already haven't. Subscribe if you're new, or if you already haven't. I know some people that watch the channel aren't subscribed but watch it. But hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we can grab all 3 points on Saturday. Up the gas.